The Bjorlee Museum actually takes its name from the name of the building, which was formerly the school library. And when we had some new buildings built, we were able to take the library services for the elementary children and move them into the new elementary building. We were then also able to move the middle school and high school library holdings closer to the student classroom areas in other buildings on campus. Consequently, we had this beautiful building that was going to become vacant, and we were fortunate enough to get it and secure it for the museum. In 2006 and 2007, we were busy moving all the artifacts you see in here from various points on campus that had been collected over the years. The first call to develop a museum at MSD was actually issued in the 1870s and had been added to and added to and added to, and many things were just stored in the away in basements of different buildings on campus. So we were able to go out, get all of them, and bring them into one place. We opened officially in June of 2008, and we are currently open basically 2 afternoons a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
We've really been pleased, the Tourism Council of Frederick County, to have the Bjorlee Museum here at our disposal. We send visitors here all the time, and what a great way to learn about deaf education. Of course, the history of this legendary campus here in Frederick of Maryland School for the Deaf. But also the Bjorlee tells the story of the adjoining Hessian barracks on the campus, and of course their storied history here related to so many American conflicts and other events that are important to Frederick history. And lastly, the museum has an eclectic mix of artifacts and possessions that really tell the story of Frederick, handed down from private citizens, businesses, the like. So really, the Bjorlee represents so much in terms of a visitor experience.
We take great pride in the Bjorlee Museum because it serves a lot of needs, and it interconnects with many of the other museums in the Frederick County area. When you first enter the Bjorlee, you see a center area that was done by financial assistance from some local foundations. We also have a display about Helen Smith, and that connects up to a similar exhibit that's out at Hood College. We also have many items that are specific to the area of deafness. Some of the items are so important nationally that they were loaned to the Smithsonian for their exhibit for a 2-year period entitled Through Deaf Eyes. We also have some antique-looking communication devices that were used by the deaf, and when we have students come, they can't believe that some of these big pieces of equipment were the only way that a deaf person could communicate with another deaf person by the telephone. We also have a lot of displays that center around the Civil War. We have that because the Battle of Monocacy was only a few miles south of here, and also because on the school grounds was the U.S. General Hospital No. 1, and it served after Antietam, after Gettysburg, and after the Battle of Monocacy Junction.
But with the Hessian barracks, we have so much, it's been such a witness to history, the history of our country, dating back to its origins back to the Revolutionary War period where it held German prisoners. But 2 key points that maybe are overshadowed sometimes by the Revolutionary history are its role in the War of 1812, where it was used to muster militia, local militiamen, for that conflict, which we are celebrating the bicentennial of right now as we speak. And also again during the Civil War period, where it was used as General Hospital No. 1, a major Union hospital center. And we have those great tie-ins to both of those American conflicts and of course Frederick's role in that. And on top of that, we are looking to do a big event here at the barracks in Bjorlee in August. On August 23rd, we're going to have an event called Frederick Under the Flag, Frederick's role in 19th century conflicts, where we're going to explore further the role in the War of 1812 and the American Civil War, and we're also going to throw in there the Spanish-American War. We're going to have lectures on campus, on the MSD campus here. We're going to have special programming. We're going to have the Maryland Historical Society's large replica flag, which was stitched in Baltimore last year, but it's going to be on display with an accompanying exhibit. So we've got a lot of activity going here, a lot of history that'll really put things into context. Of course, it's MSD campus today, but the Bjorlee and Hessian Barracks and how they relate to those conflicts, especially during these great commemorative years, the bicentennial of the War of 1812 and the 150th sesquicentennial of the American Civil War.
More directly related to the Maryland School for the Deaf, many times we do research for descendants of employees, and we do a lot of research regarding alumni. And a lot of families today, they lost track of their deaf ancestors, and we're able to track them down. So we have a lot of holdings that we have at our disposal to help these efforts. If you want further information about the museum and how to locate where we are on the campus of the Maryland School for the Deaf, you can contact the Tourism Council of Frederick County or by calling directly to the Bjorlee Museum at 301-360-2011. One of the most enjoyable parts about managing the Bjorlee Museum is that you really never know what's going to come your way on any given day. And that makes a very rich experience not only for the people that visit us, but a very rich experience for us who like to provide the research behind their requests. On any given day, we could have a question about a former family member that attended the colored school for the deaf between 1872 to 1956. That was located in Baltimore. We may have a request to hunt down a Hessian ancestor that was a prisoner of war here on the campus. We may be asked just to have some fun with some of the local items that are on display here. And we get to tell stories, how we came across this item, what it means to the school, what it means to the community. But it gives us that rich opportunity to interact and connect many dots with other museums, other exhibits, other families, and that kind of thing. That's what makes it all worthwhile.